Hello and welcome to the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. I am Sumto Ajama.
And I am Kayla Abraham, and here are the headlines. Ohaneze Ndigbo leaders visit Ipob leader Nnamdi Kanu at DSS headquarters.
Soldiers kill 6 terrorists, arrest 3 during special operation in Kaduna.
Labour, federal government, private sector to resume minimum wage negotiations on Friday.
Many trapped as residential building collapses in Lagos Island.
In business, ExxonMobil to cut back operations in Nigeria as oil firm moves to smaller office in Lagos.
And in sports, Super Falcons to camp in Spain ahead Paris Olympic finals.
Now the news in full. We begin the news at 9 with the leaders of Ohaneze and Ndigbo holding a meeting currently with Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Ipob, at the headquarters of the Directorate of State Services in Abuja. The delegation, led by Chief Emmanuel Inwanyawu, president of the Apex Igbo socio-cultural body, arrived at the DSS complex at approximately 1:05 p.m. While specific details of the discussions remain undisclosed, sources suggest that the ongoing sit-at-home order, which is in commemoration of Biafra Heroes Day, is expected to be a key topic of the meeting. Further updates are anticipated as more information becomes available from the closed-door meeting.
Meanwhile, 2 soldiers have been killed by unknown gunmen enforcing the sit-at-home order today. The military men were attacked at Obikabia Junction in Abia State by over 15 masked gunmen who also set their patrol van on fire. A trending video shows the assailants shooting sporadically before setting the military van ablaze. VOP TV News reports that a soldier later emerged with a voice accompanying the video lamenting that it's like he's the only one that survived, others have been killed. The gunmen operated with an SUV Jeep and a Sienna. The Abia State Police Command and the military have not spoken on the reported incident. The southeast is under lockdown following the declaration of sit-at-home by Biafra agitators in honor of those who died during the Civil War.
Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives of retired Honorable Benjamin Okezekalo has condemned in strongest terms the attack on a military checkpoint at Obikabia Junction in Ogbo Hill area of Abia State today by yet-to-be-identified assailant, which reportedly left 4 soldiers dead. In a statement today, the Deputy Speaker said that the killing of the military personnel who were doing their lawful duty was unwarranted, outrageous, unjust, cruel, and absolutely condemnable. Kalu, who represents Bender Federal Constituency of Abia State, said that Aba people better known for their enterprising spirit and technical skills cannot be hoodwinked to think that locking up their shops and closing their businesses to stay at home was in their best interest.
Meanwhile, the Abia State government says Alex Oti-led administration is engaging with the organizers of today's sit-at-home to ensure that the academic interests of the candidates for the West African Examination Council, WAEC, were not hurt. The sit-at-home is ordered by pro-Biafran groups in remembrance of those lost in the Nigerian Civil War. Speaking to the media in Umuahia, the Abia State capital, the Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Ferdinand Ekoma, said the government has no desire to engage in needless conflict with the organizers. He said the government is in touch with all the schools affected to see what could be done so that WAEC exams are not disrupted. However, most businesses, including banks and schools in Umuahia and about the commercial nerve center of Abia State, were shut in response to the call for a sit-at-home peaceful protest by pro-Biafran groups.
Similarly, the Anambra State Police Command said it has arrested a suspect enforcing an illegal sit-at-home along the Oba flyover in Idemili South local government area of the state. A statement by the state police spokesman SP Tochukwu Ikenga today indicated that the suspect was among a gang of 4 armed men regrouping to enforce the sit-at-home declared by the indigenous people of Biafra today. Ikenga added that the suspect was arrested following an intel that some armed men operating on motorbikes were regrouping to enforce a sit-at-home along the area. He said the police operatives who arrived in the area intercepted the gang members and demobilized them, while the other 3 members of the gang escaped with bullet injuries.
Over in Kanu State, Kanu Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf has met with the National Security Advisor Nuhu Ribadu, the National Security Advisor NSA, amid the emirship tussle in the state. Governor Yusuf disclosed this in a tweet via his official X handle today. Recall that the Deputy Governor, Aminu Gwarzo, had accused Ribadu of allegedly facilitating the return of Ado Bayero, the dethroned Emir of Kano, to the palace by providing him with 2 private jets. Ribadu had threatened to sue Gwarzo over the allegation, but the Deputy Governor withdrew his claims.
You're still watching the news at 9 on VOP TV. Coming up, federal government invites Labour to resume talks on Friday. This and more after this break.
From the views on the street,
we go to bed empty hunger,
to the blaring horns of a hustling city. The loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills 3 things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Welcome back. The federal government extended another invitation to organize labor to resume minimum wage negotiations. The committee chairman, along with the chairman, National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission, NSRWC, Ekpo Nta, sent a letter to labor scheduling the meeting for Friday. This follows an indefinite adjournment on Tuesday after previous talks collapsed when labor rejected the government's increased proposal of 60,000 naira, up from 57,000 naira. During the previous meeting, Labour revised its demands, reducing its proposal by 3,000 naira to a new figure of 494,000 naira. The Nigeria Labour Congress and Trade Union Congress of Nigeria had set a May 31 deadline for the committee to finalize negotiations on the new national minimum wage, with the ultimatum expiring Friday night.
In a recent development, the Supreme Court has directed the governors of all 36 states to submit their defenses in response to a lawsuit filed by the federal government. VOP TV News reports that the federal government is advocating for full autonomy of the 774 local governments. The federal government is seeking an order to stop governors from arbitrarily dissolving democratically elected councils. During the court session today, a 7-member panel of the Apex Court ordered the governors represented by their state attorneys general to file their responses to the originating summons within 7 days. The court further directed the Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, Lateef Fagbemi, to submit his response within 2 days of receiving the state's replies.
In another development, the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms has asked the federal government to adopt an exchange rate of 800 naira per dollar for customs import duty. The chairman of the committee, Taiwo Oyedele, spoke today while engaging journalists in the activities of the tax panel in Lagos. While presenting some of the committee's recommendations, the tax experts expressed concerns over the import duty rate, which constantly changes due to the volatility of the foreign exchange market. This, Oyedele said, does not allow for adequate planning by businesses. The import duty rate in recent time has witnessed incessant adjustments by the Nigerian Customs Service (NCS). On May 27, the customs adjusted the FX rate for tariffs and duties to 1,480 naira per dollar.
Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has said that the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, is truly making positive impacts on the Niger Delta region. Tinubu made the statement while inaugurating a 600-meter-long bridge in Ibeno, Akwa Ibom. Represented by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio, Tinubu said that the commission had directly touched the lives of the Niger Delta people in different ways. He said the bridge, which linked 20 communities, would enhance socio-economic interactions among residents of the affected communities. Tinubu said economic activities, education, and social interaction would flourish because of the bridge.
The decision by the government to revert to the old national anthem in Nigeria has sparked a range of reactions among Nigerians. President Bola Tinubu yesterday signed the National Anthem Bill 2024, seeking to reinstate the old anthem "Nigeria We Hail Thee" into law, shifting from the "Arise, O Compatriots." The "Nigeria We Hail Thee" anthem was used from 1960, when Nigeria gained independence, until it was replaced by "Arise, O Compatriots" in 1978. Many Nigerians also questioned the relevance of the move by the House of Representatives to revert to the old national anthem, wondering if it will help salvage the nation's economy, being Nigeria's biggest challenge at the moment.
In a significant development in Nigeria's national identity, President Bola Tinubu has finally signed a bill reintroducing the old national anthem, "Nigeria We Hail Thee," replacing "Arise, O Compatriots." This announcement was made by Senate President Godswill Akpabio during a joint sitting of the Senate and House of Representatives yesterday, May 29, 2024. However, amidst this change, the National Orientation Agency, NOA, has issued a directive to its officers across the 774 local governments, instructing them to memorize the newly adopted anthem before June 3rd, 2024, as it is part of a broader effort to promote national cohesion, unity, and patriotism. VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada provides further details in this report.
This legislative move, the Nigerian Senate has made a historic decision by passing the National Anthem Bill 2024. This bill, which aims to bring back the familiar strains of Nigeria We Hail Thee, marks a significant shift in the country's cultural landscape. The Senate decision to pass the National Anthem Bill 2024 comes as a nod to Nigeria's rich history and cultural heritage, as the bill seeks to replace the current national anthem, "Arise, O Compatriots," with the beloved anthem that once echoed across the nation in its early years of independence. Composed in 1960 by Lillian Jean Williams and Francis Bada, "Nigeria We Hail Thee" served as a symbol of unity and aspiration during Nigeria's nascent years, while its melodies stirred patriotism and solidarity among Nigerians, leaving an indelible mark on the nation's collective consciousness. During the Senate deliberation, there was a palpable sense of reverence for the anthem's historical relevance. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele emphasized its ability to evoke nostalgia and fond memories, urging his colleagues to honor Nigeria's past by reinstating the old national anthem.
This is the first time, like I said, that elected representatives of the Nigerian people will be taking a position on this.
The bill now awaits assent into law by President Bola Tinubu. VOP TV took to the streets to gather public opinion on the Senate's decision. Here is what they have to say.
The national anthem is not the problem of the country. Even if they change a new one, or they go back to the old one, or they form a new one, it has nothing to do with Nigeria's problem. Nigeria's problem is more deeper than national anthem. It's just a song. National anthem is just a song. The problem on ground is bigger than a song. So they should do what is necessary, not national anthem.
My opinion on the national anthem is that they should leave it where it was, because it was composed by our own Nigeria. That national anthem is more or less a prayer for us and a guide to us. Arise, O compatriots, she gave me, than the old one that was composed by a white lady.
Our problem for country, not the national anthem. One, let's think about how Nigeria will grow, how Nigeria will be great, and not national anthem. National anthem is not our problem. For me, it's not my problem. My problem is how bag of rice will become 10,000, 5,000 naira. That's my problem. My problem is how fuel will become 3 naira, I'll be 10 naira, I'll be 20 naira. That's my problem. My problem is how we're going to get lights. My problem is how we're going to open border. That's my problem. What be national anthem?
From the streets of Lagos, these are just a few reactions of citizens towards the proposed change in the national anthem from Arise, O compatriots to Nigeria with AOD. The bill finally awaits assent into law by the President of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu. Matthew Ogunswada, for Voice of the People TV.
You just listened to a report by VOP TV's Matthew Ogunswada on the new national anthem that was assented into law by the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I hope you've memorized the new anthem. Coming up, stories on insecurity and more. Stay with us.
From the views on the street,
We go to bed empty hunger.
to the blaring horns of a hustling city, the loudest voices of the common man got a medium to be heard.
This particular administration, they were coming unprepared.
It's not a bad thing to renovate the president's lodge.
Through top-notch programming, unbiased reportage of news, sports, business, entertainment, and cultural documentaries, Voice of the People 90.3 FM became a symbol for 21st century media. And now, a new baby is born. Voice of the People Television, VOP TV, youthful, full of vigor and penchant for excellence in the continent's media space, exposing the wrongs, applauding the rights, dissecting the news without fear or favor, through factual and accurate stories and contents.
Corruption kills 3 things that makes a society.
Representing the interests of the people and giving them a voice. Voice of the People TV is here to stay towards building a fair society. VOP TV, Voice of the People Television, truly a voice for the people.
Welcome back and thanks for staying tuned. Troops of the 1 Division Nigeria Army and Operation Well Punch have successfully killed 6 terrorists and apprehended 3 others during a special operation in Giwa local government area of Kaduna State. The Kaduna State Commissioner for Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Arwan, disclosed this development today, although he did not specify the exact timing of the operation. Arwan debriefed newsmen in Kaduna, explaining that the operation was launched in response to credible intelligence regarding terrorist activities in the area. He said the troops initiated a special fighting patrol in Galadimawa general area of Giwa local government area. He said the troops set up an initial position at Sabansara village, where it was discovered that insurgents had abandoned a herd of rustled cattle as they hastily escaped from the location. The commissioner explained that the troops recovered the cattle and handed them over to locals before continuing the operation.
The Nigeria Police Force Public Relations Officer Olumuyiwa Adejobi says at least 29,000 suspects were arrested for offenses ranging from kidnapping, rape, murder, gun running, and cultism, among others, across the 36 states and the Federal Capital Territory (FCT) in 1 year. The police spokesperson noted that the arrests were part of efforts of the police to ensure the safety and security of Nigerians. Giving a breakdown of the arrest, Adejobi, an Assistant Commissioner of Police, noted that 4,826 suspects were arrested for armed robbery, 3,078 suspects for kidnapping, and 2,479 suspects were arrested for sexual offenses. He added that 1,243 suspects were nabbed for unlawful possession of firearms, 3,523 suspects were arrested for courtesan, 3,381 suspects for murder or homicide, and 13,402 suspects were arrested for other offenses. The FPRO also disclosed that no fewer than 1,750 kidnapped victims were rescued in multiple operations, while several cache of illegal items, including 2,566 firearms, 19,510 rounds of ammunition, and 1,475 vehicles or motorcycles were recovered nationwide.
In a tragic development, a residential building has collapsed in the Isaleko area of Lagos State, reportedly trapping many people inside. According to eyewitness, the incident occurred at about 11 a.m. today. The building, which had been alleged to be defective, succumbed to structural failure following a fire in parts of the nearby Dosimo Market on Lagos Island. A rescue operation went in to save victims trapped in the building, which collapsed at number 15 Iga Idugon, close to Oba of Lagos Riwonu Akiolu's Palace, Lagos Island. Ibrahim Fariloye, the Lagos Territorial Coordinator of the National Emergency Management Agency, confirmed the collapse. He noted that 14 other buildings were also significantly impacted by the fire. Emergency respondents, including personnel from NEMA, Federal and State Fire Services, the Nigeria Police, and the Nigeria Ports Authority Fire Services were at the scene.
Today, the Independent National Electoral Commission INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu said the Edo office damaged facilities would be replaced before September 21st governorship election. Yakubu said this during an on-the-spot assessment of the damage caused to its facilities by the flood disaster occasioned by torrential rain in Benin on May 24th. The flood disaster destroyed some voter enrollment machines already configured for the continuous voter registration exercise. Speaking after the facilities were inspected, Yakubu said he was in Benin to assess the level of damage and immediately offered solutions to whatever problems arose from the disaster. He said the flood disaster would not hinder the smooth conduct of the governorship election in the state, adding that the commission would assess what was damaged and respond appropriately.
And a groundbreaking symposium held in Lagos, organized by the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, SWAN, in collaboration with the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, the Nigeria Police Force, and the University of Ibadan, experts and stakeholders came together to reflect on the significant impact of sports in Nigeria and the growing danger of drug abuse. The event focused on the challenges faced by Nigerian athletes and youths, highlighting the need for concerted efforts to foster sports development while combating the menace of substance abuse. Jerry Ekpalohai reports.
At Golf Hotel and Suites in GRA Ikeja, at the symposium organized by the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria in conjunction with the Nigerian Police Force and the NDLEA, talking about the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency. This symposium was organized to educate sportsmen and women on the dangers of drug abuse. Stay with us on VOP TV as we take action from this symposium.
In athletics, in boxing, in weightlifting, and all forms of sports in the country, the police has played a significant role. And I want to say that it gives me a great pleasure to deliver this important lecture. In a nation where sports play a significant role in fostering unity, promoting health, and driving economic growth, it is crucial to explore the multifaceted contribution of various institutions, including the MPF in this dynamic field. The lecture today aims to shed light on an often overlooked aspect of nation development, the symbiotic relationship between law enforcement and sports development. The objective of this lecture includes to explore the role of the Nigeria Police Force in sports development in Nigeria, to highlight the benefits of MPF involvement in sports, and to discuss challenges and provide practical recommendations of improvement. While the primary mandate of the MPF is the preservation of law and order and the protection of lives and property of citizens, our involvement in sport development demonstrates a broader commitment to societal well-being and community engagement in Nigeria. We have to increase investment in sports. More funding has to be in place. There must be more training, enhanced training in sports. Strengthen partnership with national and international sports organizations, educational institutions, community group is essential for creating supportive sport ecosystem. Collaborative initiatives can include joint training programs, shared use of facilities, and co-hosted events. This partnership can facilitate resource sharing, provide access to expert knowledge, and enhance the overall quality of sports.
To sensitize her guests on the dangers of drug abuse, especially as it has to do with sportsmen and women. So sports is an activity that unites Nigerians. No matter how the differences we have in our community, when it comes to sports, we all gather together. So it's a thing that brings pride. But unfortunately, we discovered that some sportsmen, sportswomen are indulging in substance use, drug abuse, substance abuse in different dimensions. And it's bringing shame and disgrace, bringing dishonor. So NDLEA is advocating, sensitizing the general public to flee from substance abuse. We have different intervention packages, starting from prevention. Prevention is better than cure. We appeal that if it is possible, let us prevent the use of substance. Prevention is all about delaying the initiation of substance use, and even if somebody has already initiated, that it should not develop to dependence, because that dependence is the problematic area. Dependence is a chronic relapsing brain disease.
In conclusion of today's event, at the symposium organized by the Sport Writers Association of Nigeria, where the Commissioner of Police and representatives of the Nigerian Drug Law Enforcement Agency spoke on drug abuse, awards were presented. Sport writers were inducted, as likewise as me and other VOB TV sport enthusiasts and presenters. And I hope that you have one or two lessons to learn on the dangers of drug abuse. Jerry Arpeliha reporting for VOB TV.
And that was a report on combating drug abuse in Nigerian sports by VOP TV's Jerry Akwelohai. You're still watching the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. Coming up is business, sports, and entertainment. Stay with us.
When your morning starts, make sure to look around for the right company to serve you everything you need to know about what's happening around you. That's why you need VOP This Morning, because we will climb this far to give you a voice in what's going on, from news, reviews, politics and the economy, sports, and even entertainment. Join us weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. right here on VOP TV. VOP TV. Now you have more than a voice.
Welcome back and thank you for staying tuned. Moving on to business. ExxonMobil is downsizing its operations in Nigeria, Africa's largest oil-producing nation, as the company reduces its office space in Lagos and curtails activities in the country. According to reports, Exxon is relocating employees from the 12-floor mobile house leased for $10 million annually to a smaller 6-floor office in the affluent Ikoyi district, designed to house only half the staff from the previous location. This move signals Exxon's broader intentions to scale down its presence in Nigeria. This reduction is anticipated to lead to job cuts and a diminished footprint for ExxonMobil in the country. Industry experts believe Exxon's actions reflect a broader trend among international oil companies, IOCs, in Nigeria, where many are under pressure to cut expenses and optimize operations. Earlier this year, Shell plc agreed to sell its Nigerian onshore oil assets for over $1.3 billion, and Total Energies announced plans to offload its minority stake in a significant Nigerian onshore oil joint venture.
Nigeria's Afrobeat superstar Davido launched a new crypto token named Timeless Davido on Wednesday, only to see its value plunge by 93% the following day. Launched on the Solana blockchain, the dollar Davido token initially generated significant excitement and surged in market capitalization, with Davido making a profit of over $473,000 in just 11 hours. However, the token's value quickly dropped, trading at just $0.00010 a day after its launch. This is not Davido's first foray in the cryptocurrency world. Previously, he launched the $8choke token on the Binance Smart Chain, which offers various services, including non-fungible tokens and entertainment. Despite the initial hype, the dollar Davido's token's rapid decline raises questions about its long-term viability, especially given the history of similar projects experiencing short-lived successes.
The federal government of Nigeria aims to achieve 70% digitization of government services by 2025 in collaboration with the private sector. This ambitious goal was announced by Professor Ibrahim Adeyanju, Managing Director of Galaxy Backbone, GBB, during the One Government Cloud Digitalization Retreat in Abuja. GBB's vision is to enhance service delivery through a single government service portal that provides access to services from all federal ministries, departments, and agencies. To support this initiative, GBB introduced the One Government Cloud, a combination of infrastructure and software aimed at providing secure data storage and necessary software to MDAs. The Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Farouk Yabo, emphasized the importance of data sovereignty and the need for Nigeria to control its national data securely. By partnering with local companies, the government aims to boost the economy, create jobs, and ensure the security of sensitive national data.
Kimberly-Clark, the manufacturer of Huggies diapers and other hygiene products, is set to shut down its Ikorodu production facility in Nigeria due to economic challenges just 3 years after a $100 million investment. The company has struggled with high energy costs, expensive raw materials, and reduced customer demand, leading to reduced shifts and cost-cutting measures. This closure reflects broader industry challenges in Nigeria, with companies like Procter & Gamble and PZ Cussons also facing similar difficulties. The high production cost, currency depreciation, and weak purchasing power have forced many manufacturers to reassess their operations in Nigeria. Kimberly-Clark's decision to cease production underscores the challenging economic environment and the need for sustainable solutions to support foreign direct investment and industrial growth in the country.
And now in sports, the Nigerian Football Federation, NFF, has organized a pre-tournament training camp in Spain from July 5th to 16th for the Super Falcons ahead of the 2024 Paris Olympics. According to reports, invitation letters have been sent to Super Falcons players to participate in the camp aimed at helping them acclimatize to the weather conditions of France. Initially, there were plans for a 9-time African champion to hold either a foreign or local camp during the ongoing FIFA Women's International window from May 28th to June 4th. During this period, Randy Waldrum intended to conduct open screenings for new additions to the team before the championship. The camp will see the Super Falcons face off against a high-profile team in Group A, which includes hosts France, Canada, New Zealand, and Colombia. Additionally, a Grade A friendly match is scheduled for July 15th, just a day after the team departs for the tournament in France. Returning to the multi-sport event for the first time in 16 years, the Super Falcons secured their spot thanks to a tense 1-0 aggregate victory over reigning African champions South Africa in April. Drawn in Group C at the Paris Olympics, they will face reigning world champions Spain, Japan, and South American champions Brazil. Their campaign begins with a match against Brazil at Stade de Bordeaux on July 25th, followed by matches against Spain in Nantes 3 days later and Japan on July 31st at the same venue.
Bafana head coach Hugo Broos is confident his team can qualify for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. South Africa currently occupies second position in Group C with 3 points. The former African champions will play Nigeria away in a matchday 3 fixture at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium in Uyo next Friday. Broos' team will then host the Warriors of Zimbabwe at the Free State Stadium in Bloemfontein on Tuesday, June 11th. The Belgian acknowledged that qualifying ahead of Nigeria will be challenging, but emphasized that it is achievable.
Now in entertainment, Efe Money shared his views in an interview on the continued struggles of musicians who have participated in the popular reality TV show Big Brother Naija. According to Efe, who won the 2017 edition of Big Brother Naija, the audience who follow the reality show are different from the ones who consume music generally, and this has contributed to the inability of past housemates who are musicians to build a fan base of the show. Since the show kicked off in 2006, several musicians have graced the show in the hope of propping their profiles and attracting a listener base. However, the opposite has been the case with these artists unable to successfully divert attention from the show to their music. Among the musicians who have graced the show in recent years include Kanu and White Money, won the 2020 and 2021 shows respectively, and while the former has enjoyed some success in music, the latter has failed to nail down a listener base.
Still in Big Brother, former Big Brother Naija housemate Queen Mercy Ateng has opened up about how she met her husband, David Oyekomi, in 2023 after the fallout with her baby daddy, Nigerian skate maker Lud Lamba. In a lengthy post on her Instagram page, narrated how she reluctantly made a Snapchat post and David reached out to her after the post. Queen said her husband almost slipped off her hand because of fear, especially as she had given up on love and wanted to enjoy life. The Big Brother Naija star appreciated David for being patient with her and always urging her to pray in every situation.
President Bola Tinubu just marked his first year in office on May 29, 2024, and Nigerian comedian Seyi Law, a staunch supporter of the president, says there is more work to be done. Taking to his X account on May 29, 2024, Seyi Law congratulated the president on 1 year in office and also highlighted areas that he wants the president to improve on. The comic also brought the presidency's attention to the dire situation that is the Nigerian agricultural sector, asking for urgent intervention.
Meanwhile, actress Eniola Badmus has faced some backlash after taking to Instagram to celebrate President Tinubu's first year in office, saying that he brought hope to Nigeria. In a post made in the early hours of today, Badmus posted a video of the Nigerian president in parliament singing the newly reinstated national anthem. Badmus subsequently received backlash for her post from some Instagram users who did not agree with her political views. A staunch supporter of the president, this is not the first time Badmus has faced backlash for her support for him. Similarly, in 2022, she received backlash after expressing her support for Tinubu ahead of the 2023 general elections. In 2023, during the election period, she also received criticism for her public support for him. Last week, she was named Special Advisor to the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas on social events and public hearings.
Anticipation is high among fans who are set to be treated to an exciting collaboration between Nigerian superstars Ohaneze and Fireboy, who are partnering with hit-making producer Lekabit for a new single. Fireboy had fans on the edge of their seats when he shared a post saying it's pretty messed up, in which he tagged Ohaneze on his X account. The post appeared to be an announcement of a possible collaboration, and Ohaneze thickened the plot with his reply. The collaboration will later be confirmed by Lekabit, who announced that he will be collaborating with Fireboy and Ohaneze for a new song. The upcoming collaboration makes it the first time Fireboy and Ohaneze will be on a song together, and this prospect has predictably sparked excitement among fans. Since breaking into the mainstream, both Fireboy and Ohaneze have enjoyed commercial success. Aside from being hitmakers with critically acclaimed albums, Fireboy and Ohaneze are both past winners of the Headies Next Rated Prize in what was an endorsement of their ability to define the future of Nigerian mainstream music. While there's no release date yet for their collaboration, listeners will be eager to hear how two of the nation's biggest stars fared next to each other.
And to wrap the 9 p.m. news, let's take a look at the stories that made it to the headline earlier. You heard that Ohaneze and Ndigbo leaders visit Ipob leader Nnamdi Kanu at DSS headquarters.
Soldiers kill 6 terrorists, arrest 3 during special operation in Kaduna.
Labour, federal government, private sector to resume minimum wage negotiations on Friday.
Many trapped as residential building collapses in Lagos Island.
In business, ExxonMobil to cut back operations in Nigeria as oil firm moves to smaller office in Lagos.
And in sports, Super Falcons to camp in Spain ahead of Paris Olympic finals.
And that is a wrap on the 9 p.m. news on VOP TV. Many thanks for watching. I'm Kayla Abraham.
And I am Sumto Ajama.
Good evening.